How do you find Poland?
Oh, Poland. I find it really beautiful. I have been here before touring with Ursula Dudziak and Marek Bałata, but that was about 15 or 17 years ago. So things have changed a lot. And in terms of the infrastructure and lots of new buildings, this beautiful cultural center, and so I find I'm amazed by the accommodations, the cultural center, and everything that we see that is brand new and we get to work with. And of course, the nature here is beautiful, so I enjoy that. And yeah, I can go on and on. The hospitality has been incredible. So in terms of doing workshops, I think this workshop, we've really been treated royally, and it's good because we're working hard.
True, it's been a very busy week. How about the students, the level of the participants?
Well, we've had in the vocal class, we've had all different levels. We have one young lady who's 15 years old and a young man who's 18. So this is their first experience with vocal jazz. So everything is new and they're learning, but all the singers are super talented. We had the program last night where each one of them sang, and I thought they did a great job. I was really proud of them. So the level is high, and especially the ones who've gone to conservatory here are really well prepared.
I come very often to Poland, and I think that the audience here is very cultured and very excited about new music and also traditional music. But I think that, for example, this workshop here, it's an important new aspect of opening the culture of the country and becoming an international presence in not just jazz, but all music.
And how do you find the first edition of the workshops? Because it's something new, very new in Poland and in Europe. Because, well, I called Trzebnica in New York for the whole week. How do you find the first edition?
I think that the faculty members, Rory Stewart and Mark Soskin and Matt Penman and Greg Hutchinson and Greg Osby and Judy Niemak, it's a very special combination of musicians. And the interesting thing in any workshop is, of course, the education aspect, but also when the faculty play together, what happens. And we had a very beautiful concert. And I think that we're giving to the students a very diverse and a very thoughtful mode to think about their work and their future.
And how about the students coming from different countries on different levels, different instruments?
Well, that's really the best aspect. That in my ensemble I have musicians from Turkey and Belgium and Poland, of course, but coming from all over Europe, and I think that that's really good for the musicians here to discover that there are other musicians, young musicians their age, making the same struggle and exploration all around the world.
Well, Poland is a wonderful country, and it's actually a mystery to a lot of people in the United States. There are a lot of Polish people in the United States, but there are a lot of people in the United States who don't come to Poland as a first destination. They normally go to London and Paris and Rome and places like this, but I can say that they should come here because it's kind of a hidden treasure. And I've been to Poland many times, all over to all the cities and even some small towns. Great food, great culture, and great people. So I'm hopeful that this workshop and our exchanges will open the doors, and it will, result in many more collaborations and many more visits.
How about the workshop? It's the first edition, and any hints to the organizers?
Yes, I think as I was saying earlier to some of the students, I was hopeful that this building would be available to us until the late hours, so that there could be more playing, because they close this building at 6, and so music starts to happen anytime. So an empty building is no good. So you have people coming from all over, they should be able to use this building. And also, if there was more activity in the town, maybe a small club or another club, so there would be 3 things happening at once. They have the main jam session at the end, but there should be other places where people can go, okay, now we go to this club and now we go to this club. Maybe a different style of music in each club. And I would have also liked to seen more interaction from Polish musicians, professional musicians. So along with the Americans coming here, there would be also Polish teachers. Because most of the workshops I do is a collaboration between the Americans and the teachers from that country. So we're just trying to have a better community.
How about the students here?
The students are very good. I mean, the musicians in Poland have always been on a high level, much higher than some other places, because of their appreciation of jazz and art. So that makes teaching much easier when you're not dealing with beginners. So that helps us. I'm very happy, and everyone's very eager and very enthusiastic and learning very fast. So it's been a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Dziękuję.
I love Poland. I've been fortunate to come here many times, playing with many different artists, Betty Carter, Joshua Redman, and every time I've come, the people have been very nice. They enjoy the music, and so I think that's a huge thing. So, yes, good for Poland.
And how about the workshops? Because they're here for the first time and a very new event in Europe, in the whole Europe, to have the New Yorkers, the educators coming here. So how about the workshop? Is it prepared? Was it prepared?
Oh, yeah, the workshop's prepared. I run a workshop in Rome, which is very similar. It takes some time to build the workshop. You have to be patient. First year, there's always some things that go wrong, but I say overall it was great. Yeah, we had a great time, definitely.
This isn't the first time I've been in Poland. This is the first time I've been in Trzebnica, and I think it's great. It's beautiful. I first came to Poland in around 1978, 79, and things were really different in Poland then. And it's interesting. I've been many times to Poland, and it's interesting to see the changes, But I've always really had a very pleasant time going to Poland. Nice audiences, some very fine musicians, and it's really been wonderful for me to come to Poland. Yeah.
Actually, it's the time of summing up the workshops. And how do you find the workshop here in Trzebnica? This is the first edition.
I think it was really successful. The organizers did a very fine job of making everything work. And I really think it has worked, judging from how the students have talked about it. I think everybody did a great job. Yeah.
Okay. And how about the students? They came from different countries, and I guess they are on different levels.
They are on different levels, and that's always a challenge. But also I think that worked out very well. Each different level was addressed, and I think the combos were placed very successfully, and so I think they were given the just really good opportunity here. So I think they'll take back to whatever country they're in some really positive things. Yeah.
If there is another edition, will you come?
I hope so. If they'll have me, I'll come. Of course, it was really very, very nice for me to be here. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And once I'm here, I think it's a really, really beautiful place. It's very nice people, welcoming people. I think the weather has kind of kept us surprised. It's been very variable, but it's beautiful to come to this part of the country and to see Trzebnica, a very small town that I didn't know much about, and to see a little of Wrocław. Really lovely architecture and really lovely nature, and I think that this town is a perfect place to have a workshop in, because it's just small enough so that everyone kind of bands together and everyone stays together and has fun together and works on music together. I'm very impressed with this workshop, how organized it was, especially for a first time. I think it's definitely something that can continue in the future. It's had a great response from teachers and students, and is obviously something that is very needed in this part of Europe. So I just wish it all the best, and I think it's going to have great success and going to continue on for many years. The students have been great. I mean, everyone is in a different place musically, basically wherever you go. So everyone brings their own experiences and their own cultural experiences and their own level of musicality, but I've noticed that everyone here over the week has definitely got a lot better. So even if you have musicians of varying levels, I think that everyone has helped everyone else here, and everyone's going back home a better musician.
I love Poland. A few years ago I got a Fulbright Scholar Award, and I was based in the Czech Republic, but I had colleagues and friends. Is actually an excellent Polish guitarist who was my student. His name is Rafał Sarnecki, wonderful musician, and he told me about some musicians in Poland I should check out. I got in touch with them, and they had me come and do workshops and concerts in Warsaw and Wrocław. I never pronounce it quite right, it's hard for us, and a couple of other places. And that was the first time I'd ever been to Poland, and I loved it. Actually, the bass player in Warsaw took me to see many of the beautiful scenes, and then, you know, so each place I got to see things. So I love it, and this is my third trip here now, I guess. Yeah.
How about the workshops? It's the first edition, and how do you find it?
I'm very happy with the workshop, and the artistic director of the workshop, Dorota Piotrowska, was my student at New School. I teach in New York at the New School, and she actually, I've directed workshops in Korea and Italy, different places, and she talked to me about, you know, what would you do to make a really wonderful workshop? But I didn't know she would actually get it together to make a workshop. And then several months later, she came back to me and she said, hey, we're going to do the workshop. So I think there are a lot of things in the schedule that are really kind of innovative and interesting. And also the faculty is wonderful. And then she got this wonderful group of students who are very enthusiastic and talented. So no complaints. And it's very difficult to do a workshop like this for the first year, to put it on. And I feel like they've done it so successfully that I'm hoping for the next 20 years, you know, this workshop goes on and people are talking, wow, you know, people are coming from all over Europe and other places for this workshop. So I think it's gone great. Yeah, very successful first year.
Yes, it's very unique because it's the first edition, and all over people from all over Europe had the opportunity to come here and to study with the New Yorkers, the New York musicians. How do you find the students as such and the level of them?
It's very good, and the level varies. You know, some people really experienced professional musicians. Some people, you know, haven't spent as much time, but very talented and getting better quickly. So I think the level is good, and we work to put ensembles together with different musicians who would complement each other well, and I think it's gone well. And later today we have the student concerts, so if you're around you can witness it, you know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.